hope that you can see.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Of course, it's a pleasure to share our experience and work. Build CoLAB is a very recent collaborative laboratory for the built environment, and it was created to support the digitalization of the construction industry in Portugal, but we need to have an active role in the industry to support the transition, particularly SMEs. We have that mission. But first of all, I would like to present myself. I've already said that I'm the Research Development and Innovation Director, professor at the University of Lisbon, and also chair of the BIM standardization. And right now, it's important to say that Build CoLAB is also the coordinator of this committee for BIM standardization. We are trying to put together all the efforts to accelerate transformation. Just because Build CoLAB wants to do research, innovation, and knowledge transfer, and follow a technology to market approach. We understand that there is a gap many times between the research centers, the universities, and the industry, and so we want to place ourselves as a bridge between these two spaces. In terms of scope, our idea is to, as I told, accelerate digitalization, but also industrialization, and of course to work on the twin transition. We strongly believe that only with a broad digitalization we will achieve the goals in terms of sustainability. So we have only less than 2 years. We have already more than 25 people working at the Build CoLAB, and we understood since the beginning that we needed to have a strong impact in the industry since our creation. So we identified high potential knowledge areas, BIM, of course, digital transition, standardization, modular construction, industrialization, and we create what we call the intensive innovation groups, like task force that have a specific mission, well-defined deliverables and objectives, and also have a detailed plan for their activity. These intensive innovation groups establish partnerships with the industry. We don't want to invent the wheel every time. We want to identify the best practices and create connections with the industry and accelerate the developments. And so we have this IIG's dynamics that worked really well. But step by step, the structure in terms of research grew, and we needed to have research areas more with a specific team, each one, and coordinating these intensive innovation groups. The research areas we created are this one. Smart transport infrastructures, IoT and smart technologies, BIM intelligence and digital twin, green transition, standards and digital transition. These were created based on our interaction with the industry, also based on the high potential knowledge areas we identified. And I might say that this BIM intelligence and digital twin is one of the strongest right now. Also is what we think the more mature in terms of development. So the distribution of the intensive innovation groups is this one. The BIM intelligence and digital twin group has now many ongoing projects with the industry, and also some of them are projects that are funded and so on. But in fact, we have a very transversal approach, focus on the twin transition, and very much supported also by the government. For instance, within the green transition, we are right now doing the plan for the national plan for circularity in construction, and this is very important for us. I would like to share some developments, and one of them it's this. We are also. We must remember that we are less than 2 years old. One of our first developments was try to bring modularization to BIM, and so instead of having BIM object library, we would like to have a BIM model library, which of course would try to incentivize this more modularized approach to the construction. So we have a small tool that allows to have these models, and we want to bring the supply chain to this platform that allows to have this more modularized approach. Of course, when we showed this to the industry, they told us, well, this is interesting, but right now, and we were talking particularly with construction companies, they told us, well, right now we need, we receive traditional design projects. They are not modular designs. So what we want is to identify the potential of modularization of this design project. So we stopped in terms of development this line of action. We have the plugin finished, but we start developing another tool. This tool uses artificial intelligence to analyze the BIM model and identify similar spaces. We can apply it to every type of space. We demonstrate this with toilets. And in fact, there is a clustering algorithm that look at the different toilets or any other space and identifies similarities, groups the more similar, and actually it has a semi-supervised approach that allows the user to interact with the decisions. And this was very interesting in terms of the receptivity from the industry, because they start looking at the designs, particularly, of course, the construction companies, and using this tool to decide the way to go. They understand better and more easily and quicker the potential of modularization of a specific design, and they can plan the construction works based on this. So the idea is to identify the potential and then interact with the designer to see if it is possible to get to more modularized approaches. Well, there is, as I told you, a semi-supervised approach, and then the tool allows us to see the similarities and the grouping with colors, with a list, etc. Then the idea is, as soon as we identified similarities, we can generate automatically the different models, and this is why we are right now developing a new tool that looks at the new proposed models with small differences. If we want to get groups, we need to have a little trade-off in terms of geometry, but then this allows to generate automatically the new toilets in BIM. Another development which is being done under the REF at Construction project, which is a national project involving many companies, and its mission is, in terms of goal, is to have a platform for digital construction in Portugal, or at least some technology to support collaboration. One of these developments is the BIM Object Library for Portugal, and we built CoLAB are developing this. The idea is not only to be a national library, to more open to SMEs, particularly to the supply chain, also to integrate the modular approach. But our idea is to integrate the product data templates platform, which we are also developing. We have a good connection to industry in terms of product data templates development, and we want to integrate this with the object library, and turn this object library also an information management platform, which will be useful even if we want to refresh, synchronize the new information with the models and so on. Also, this allows product owners to have their own the objects on their own websites with the IDB link, and I think it will be an important step, at least at the national level. Of course, we know that there are a lot of different libraries, but we are hoping to integrate with everyone. But it's a good step because it will reach different players. This library will integrate also with LCA information. This is very important for us right now. We want to use BIM to assess life cycle calculations and so on. And so the BIM object library, which will have different parameters, will also integrate information from different databases, APDs databases. We are getting information from several APDs databases, and we are also clustering the information, classifying the information, because we want to have a smooth connection between the BIM objects and the respective APD's environmental product information. This is not easy. We studied a lot of the different databases, and in fact there is a lot of different structures of information, and so we are trying to get the information and then classifying it. And we have a tool that, based on BIM, will then support the life cycle assessment analysis, and of course create some new parameters and so on. And this is the tool. Another approach that we think that is relevant for the industry is to guarantee the quality of the BIM objects and the BIM models. And so we are developing a new tool that will first of all, it supports the classification of the model and the objects. It allows to, for instance, create new parameters, creating spaces with following certain rules and so on. But then also we have the BIM Checker, which will allow to assess the BIM model, verify the parameters within each BIM object. We strongly believe that we need to guarantee the quality of BIM models and BIM objects, so that we can progress within the industry. That's a small video about this tool. It's a simple tool. It's important to say that we are right now developing this based on Autodesk mostly, but we are prepared to develop for other tools. We don't have any problem doing that, and it's our intention. So first of all, there is a tool to support the classification. We need to understand that some of these things is not rocket science. We want to reach the industry and give particularly SMEs tools simple tools that they can use and implement in a daily basis. So this is the BIM Checker and the BIM Classification tool. And of course, then we need to go to use the BIM in the facility management activities and so on. And we created a simple plugin that transforms the model into a virtual reality environment. This allows us to work with an interface that is rich in information and can be applied to different users and, of course, applied to the different needs of the industry. That will go forward because another thing that we believe that is very interesting and has a huge potential is the augmented reality. Also connecting with the idea of the BIM objects that are rich in information and so on. In this case, we are developing what we call the BIM Monitor, which is an Android standalone application that allows to look at the reality, as we can see, align the model with the reality, and then see what is constructed or not. We are right now, of course, doing some tests. This is still under development, but the results are very interesting, and the application will also be applied not only to control or monitor construction works, but also then to support facility management activities. For us, this is a very important direction of development. The digital twin. That's why we are trying to integrate several sensors we applied to our office with a BIM model, and this is, of course, we see several examples in the industry. Again, we want to do tools that can be accessible and easy to use. This is just an example. We are using again, existing BIM viewers. We don't want to invent the wheel, but we are alert to the existing tools and want to potentiate them. This is just our office, and of course, the most difficult here is not to integrate with is to organize. We want when we are developing, as I told, the product data templates, and we are already thinking about the parameter we need to have in the objects to support in the future this digital twins, the activity, the uses that we will implement, such as facility management and so on. And finally, just to finalize, as we know, to have a BIM model of the reality, we need to one of two things must happen. We must create a new design, a new project, or we need to do a model based on what exists, and for that we need to use laser scanner or other similar technologies. We are doing a tool that will allow to automatically generate the BIM model based on the point cloud. And this is, we have already achieved interesting results. We have some segmentation already in terms of geometry and also semantic segmentation. And we are developing a platform that will help this more automatic approach of scan to BIM, let's say. Well, this was what I wanted to share with you. I hope it's, and I'm of course free for any question you have, and if you need some other information, just send me an email, and I will be pleased to answer it. Thank you.